Welcome back to part 10 of the Sonic Generations playthrough.
Yeah, just a quick thought about Crisis City. It's in the future. Where the hell was Chaos during all of that?
That's a good point. Was the Master Emerald just sort of under lock and key or some shit?
It's like, did Chaos just evaporate or something?
Maybe Knuckles is like just... it would have been one of his ancestors or some shit. Yeah. Actually, that would imply that Knuckles got laid.
True.
Like, we know from Unknown from ME that maybe that's not a possibility.
It's like, how amazing would it have been if, like, in the future, there's perfect chaos and Iblis fighting it out for control. Like, half the world is completely covered in water and then the other half is just like the fucking sun.
I think the other one's going to win. The water one.
Well, but they'll just balance it out for the sake of there being a conflict.
Yeah, and then this is basically Gen 3.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yes, but with gods. Actual gods, in a sense.
Yeah, like I could imagine Iblis and Perfect Chaos being like alternate Mega Evolutions for Groudon and Kyogre.
What happened to Chaos?
Yeah, Chaos is just like properly steroids up and shit. Like.
He's just steam up in the atmosphere.
Okay, to get us back on topic, I just want to say this level took me fucking ages to get a perfect rundown of. Like, I have the bubble shield. Or, this isn't actually the bubble shield. This is the standard shield, but it uses the same graphic as the bubble shield for some reason. I kept this on just as a backup in case I needed to take a hit. I think I got through it without one though. But yeah, this level was a bit of a pain because there's a lot of different things that can just sort of catch you off guard and knock you back and take your rings. And I ain't down the clown with losing no rings here, you know. But yeah, Sonic Unleashed. Chris, have you ever played Unleashed?
Well, only around yours, like a little bit.
I haven't played it like properly.
Played it before now.
No.
Well, is it the daytime level was really good, but the nighttime sucked, didn't they?
That's currently too long, didn't read of the game's problems. Stephen, you've only played the Wii version, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was okay. I mean, the nighttime levels were a bit tedious after a little while. Not due to difficulty, just length.
I know, exactly. To me, I will say I prefer the Wii version to the HD version. The HD one, what holds it back even more for me, on top of like the nighttime stuff, is the medal system. The way that the medals work in Sonic Unleashed, or the level progression even, is you have to collect all these medals that are sprinkled around levels, sprinkled around the hub world, and you need to get a certain number of them to unlock the next level. And it gets fucking tedious, because I don't like backtracking. I don't like having to go through levels I've already played, especially the Werehog ones, which are repetitive and mundane, just to find these medals to let me play the next part of the game.
There is one upside to the Werehog. It's like, that was their first time making a combat system in a Sonic game. And then along comes Sonic Boom, which is the second sort of fighting type of Sonic game, and its combat system's absolute shite in comparison.
Yeah, I don't know how they managed to do that, because like, what I will say for the Werehog, in its defence somewhat, is that for that kind of gameplay, beyond the of issues that Unleashed has, it is fairly well developed.
Yeah,
there's a lot of combos you can do. There's a lot of different things you can do to make it that little bit more interesting than say a standard beat 'em up.
It's like they actually tried. They did at least try. It didn't work, but they tried. They put effort in.
Yeah, I think if this were a different series and maybe it got a little bit more sort of development and shit, then that could have worked. It would have to be a lot more varied. Because, you know, like, just the Werehog, it does get repetitive and that. But, like, it's better than it could have been, and it's better than Boom was. But this little section here, this is a nod to the nighttime stage of Rooftop Run in Unleashed. Because there's this little platforming section in that where you climb up around a clock tower. And I think that is a really cool section, and I'm glad that got a little throwback here.
You said do you still think the Unleashed had the best graphics of a Sonic game?
Yeah.
I think that, didn't you?
If we're talking exclusively the graphics rather than like, you know, how well it runs, yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. There's very few games I can say come up to that. Like, until Mario Kart came out, like Mario Kart 8, I would have said that's the best looking game I've ever seen, just purely because of how pretty it is. And I will say one game that, again, performance withstanding, I think looks absolutely beautiful, the new Ratchet and Clank reboot.
Oh, right, yeah.
I've seen some things of that. That looks really pretty.
It does look like a Pixar movie, kind of like come to life in video game, in it sort of.
It looks like you're playing the cutscenes.
Yeah, it does have that sort of... It's... I don't know exactly what kind of engines they've got set up, but it seems to be developed in a similar way to the Hedgehog engine in Unleashed and Generations, where it's like, sort of, the lighting is... I don't know how to describe it. I'm not very good at describing how lighting engine works, but like there's this very bright whites and like mid-tones that just make the whole thing pop. Because if you like look at Sonic's model when he's in different areas of light, you can see there's this sort of smudged in looking glow of like a highlight. Stephen, you could probably describe this much better than I can, given you're actually an artist and stuff. But
I'm not too great with descriptions, though. Sorry, that is my genuine weakness.
Okay. Yeah.
So I can draw for you, but get me to describe it.
Obviously, there's a difference between drawing, like, say, a 2D piece of artwork and having an engine that's rendering in the models and rendering in the atmospheres and that. But if you imagine, you know, when you're shading a piece of art and you sort of add your like dodge effects to it or whatever, just to like give you your whiter sections, I kind of get that sort of vibe from it, that's the main emphasis of how the lighting works.
Okay.
And that's the beautiful trailer shot.
Yeah. It's like, you know this game's going to be good, look at it.
What really bugs me out, and I know this is a really fucking petty thing for me to get buggered out at that was my favourite shot until I went through the footage, just tapping through frame by frame, and there's a couple of frames where the grind rail clips through the camera, and it just, no, you were so close to being perfect.
Okay, it is perfect. It's just the shame that the Unleashed version is better than this, honestly.
What, Unleashed Day, the level?
Yes. It just has more going for it.
This is pretty much an abridged take of that level.
It's much shorter than the Unleashed version.
Yeah, because you can see we're just about the 2-minute mark now and we're nearly done, whereas the Unleashed one I think takes like 5 to 6 minutes and there's just a lot more.
This is quite a fast sort of level though. It's quite this is quite fun.
Plus when you go down the clock tower, it does an entire spiral around the clock tower, showing you the entire city.
Yeah, like, I get what they're going for here, because I think one of the criticisms Unleashed got, like, obviously we've complained about the Werehog already, but things going on too long and that, so if they've cut it down, I know why they've cut it down, but I think this sort of level I'm fine with going on for a little while, because there's lots of new stuff happening, rather than ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba again for like the 40th fucking time. But ladies and gentlemen, that was Rooftop Run. Join us next time for Planet Wisp. See you then.